good time to declutter? I see that question asked a lot, especially now when a lot of us are still locked down at home. In the past few weeks, while everything's been going on, I've seen my neighbors carry out a serious amount of stuff. Granted, some of that is from just a handful of my neighbors who either are or were in the process of moving. So the furniture disposal, recycling bin, and our compactor have become the single most popular place in my apartment community. Since, the pool, the fitness center, the child's park, they're all close to us. And the dog park is only limited to 2 heartbeats, being one person and their dog, or one person and 2 dogs, or whatever it is. But seriously, outside of a world-altering and life-changing pandemic, when is a good time to declutter? Well, let's get into that. But real quick though, thanks for clicking on this video. If you find this entertaining or valuable, give us a like, click or tap that subscribe button and ring our bell to turn on notifications. If during the course of this video something catches your attention, or if our content provides value to you in some way, or if you just want to say hi from wherever you are, drop us a line in the comments. We'd love to hear from you and to get to know what's important to you and why. So a question that I see asked a lot in the many online minimalist and minimalism or aspiring minimalist communities is, when is a good time to declutter? Or when is the best time to declutter? Today I'm going to take a shot at giving you our best answer to your question. Let's get into the best time to declutter. According to Scott, remember Scott? The mysterious husband who rarely appears here? Yeah, him. The best time to declutter is after an episode of Hoarders. That's right. If you find yourself needing to declutter, but lack the motivation, we found, for us, for the Skis Life, that for some reason, just putting on an episode of Hoarders on Netflix is enough to motivate us to get up and get to work. Usually we leave the episode running while we work, because generally what happens is we'll put it on, get like 10 minutes into it, and then we're ready to work. But seriously though, according to me, the best time to declutter, it changes day to day. For me, and only me, not counting Scott, this week I decluttered my office. I did so because it was becoming a problem. I'm a very tactile person, so while a lot of the work I do is digital, because I use my computer, my monitors, my camera, my screens. I love my screen time. I still prefer that things and tasks. I still prefer those things and tasks that are tactile. For example, I keep a digital calendar on my phone that's linked to my computer, but I also keep a family calendar on the refrigerator. Another example would be that I sew, and I like to draw by hand. So I have some art and craft supplies that I make that make use of this preference that I have to use my hands to get them dirty. So when we moved into this apartment and I set up the office here, a lot of that stuff just got piled into my closet. Well, recently I've had it out more than usual, so it was starting to take over my work table. And then my sewing started to take over the floor space. And then, because I have a lot of plants that needed to be in front of this window that I have in here, that took up space. Eventually, the clutter in this room became a problem for me. When cleaning up one small mess at a time just so I could get some work done, started to become a time-wasting and frustrating habit. So this week, the best time to declutter was when my existing clutter became a problem. Now, this may be different for you because we all have different reasons for wanting to declutter, and you don't have to be a minimalist or an aspiring minimalist like us to need to or want to declutter. According to apartment therapy, the best time to declutter, is February, because you can more easily get to the most important and intimate spaces of your home. Also, that makes spring cleaning easier, which makes perfect sense. If you're interested in reading that article, the article that I'm referring to from Apartment Therapy, the link is in the description below. That being said, at the same time, according to a friend of mine who has children, the best time to declutter is in January. Thanks to Christmas and many well-meaning relatives, we all see and feel an influx of stuff coming into our homes. So while we're all high on the excitement of the new year and accomplishing and winning our resolutions and motivation, January is the perfect time to declutter. Also, according to the same friend, the perfect time to declutter is in the middle of the day when the children are napping or under normal circumstances when they're at school. Then, according to general consensus and popular opinion, we have spring for all of you spring cleaners. As I said at the beginning of this video, the furniture bin, recycle bin, and compactor are the most popular places in my community right now. Granted, I suspect that a large portion of that can be contributed to COVID-19 and the quarantine, because here in North Carolina, we're still in lockdown. But some of that is the time of year. It's spring after all. We're all looking to get out and enjoy the warming weather, so we're seeing the perfect conditions for those walks back and forth to and from the disposal station. Speaking of my community and my decluttering neighbors, several have moved. So apparently moving is also the perfect time to declutter. One of my neighbors who moved out in this past November took the time to declutter while she was in the process of packing and moving. Personally speaking, Scott and I decluttered a lot when we moved in here, and every time we've moved, in fact, since we've been together, we've taken the time at some point or other to declutter. Sunny days when walking outside to carry your declutter, or to carry the fruits of your labor, your decluttering labor, to the curb, your vehicle, or the furniture bin is a perfect time to declutter. Rainy days when you're stuck inside is a perfect time to declutter a corner, a desk, a room, a closet, a junk drawer, a cabinet, a shelf, or an attic. Before or after you or your children's birthdays is a perfect time to declutter. Clutter caused by the gift giving of very loving and well-meaning family members, After you've finished a project or before you start your next project is an ideal time to declutter, because it cleans out all of the stuff that you have out or that you have in excess, and it clears a space for you to be able to move into the next project. And it basically, anytime you want to declutter is perfect. Even if you don't want to, but you need to, as in my case with the office, turn on your motivation and get it done. And finally, anytime your clutter makes you feel unsafe or uncomfortable, or when it prevents you from using a space or a room for its intended purpose. Let me put it another way. If you have a room or part of your yard, for example, that you wouldn't allow your children, your grandchildren, your nieces or your nephews, or a child that you generally care for, walk through it or enter it because it's unsafe, it's probably time to declutter. If you have a garage you can't park in, a room that you can't use for its actual purpose, or a kitchen have you have a hard time cooking in, it's probably time to declutter. So basically, when is a good time to declutter? The short answer to your question is there is no short answer. When is the best time for you? A good time for you. When is it time? During the summer, spring, fall, winter, before or after birthdays, before Christmas, after Christmas, January, February, when you're stuck at home because of a worldwide pandemic, when you have time, when you don't have time, when it's time generally, when your clutter makes you uncomfortable, or when it becomes intrusive, on a sunny day, on a rainy day, on warm days, on cold days, or after watching an episode of Hoarders, or after liking this video and subscribing to the Skis Life. Alright, that's it for me. If you have anything to add to this for when a perfect time or when a good time to declutter would be, let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Since you made it this far, go ahead and give us that thumbs up, subscribe for more content, and ring that bell for notifications. See you next time.